Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we're making Kashmiri Naan. If you guys have never had this, I promise you all are going to love it. It's a sweet nut filling with raisins that's inside of a roti or a naan. So let's jump straight into this recipe. Let me show you how easy it is to make. We're starting with some coconut pieces that I took the brown skin off, and we're going to blend it until it's really fine. I'm using my Vitamix blender. You would want to do this in batches if you don't have a really powerful blender. Now I'm going to go in with some raw cashew nuts. These are not roasted, and some almonds that I removed the skins. It's easy to do that. You just have to soak it for about an hour, and then the skins, it comes right off when you rub it between your hands. So you're going to blend this until it's coarse and then add in some heavy cream. And then we're going to blend it further until it's a more of a smoother texture. So you don't want it to be too smooth. You still want to see some coarseness in there, but you don't want it to be very chunky. So once it's finished, we'll go ahead and check it to make sure it's where we want it to be. And guys, you have to do this in portions if you don't have a really powerful blender. You see how thick that is? That's what you're going for. And it's still nice and fine. So I'm going to empty it into my skillet or pot. You want something that's a wide bottom. In goes sugar. I used white. You can use brown if you wanted to. You're going to need some cinnamon powder for this. Also some cardamom or elaichi that's grounded, and fresh nutmeg. So we're going to grate in our nutmeg. And you just need just a little, guys. You don't need a whole lot, like a pinch. Take your finger and pinch it, and put a pinch of cinnamon and a pinch of cardamom. And now we're going to give this a mix, and we're going to cook it on our stove on a medium-low heat for around 5 minutes. You don't want to overcook it for the oils to start coming out. You just want to make sure to melt the sugar. So you're going to cook it on that low heat. And once it starts to look like this, we're going to go in with our raisins. And I'm also going to add in some coconut essence. Just a little bit. Now once you mix these last two ingredients in, you want to remove it from your stove, remove it from the heat, and set it aside. So give it a quick mix and then set it aside to cool down. And while I was making this, I tasted it. You want to taste it, make sure it has enough sugar, and you can adjust that now. I have to tell you guys that this would make a really good lapsi filling. So you can probably try that one day. So I added yeast and baking powder to my flour, and I'm giving that a mix. Now if you had leftover sada roti dough, you can use it for this recipe also. In goes some ghee and some yogurt. If you don't have ghee, you can use butter, and you just want to break that into the flour. Plain sada roti dough would be perfect for this. Now I'm going to go in with water a little at a time to bring it together to form a medium to firm dough. You don't want it to be really soft when you're making traditional naan, because this is going to be really crispy on the outside. So you're going to knead it until it comes together. So for this 2 cups of flour, I use 3/4 cups of water, and the flour is packed into the cup, so you're not spooning it. So it's going to be extra flour. When you're baking, you spoon the flour into the cup. So now we knead until smooth, form into a ball, cover and set aside to rest for about 10 to 15 minutes. After it's finished resting, you'll notice it's not going to rise really huge. We don't want that. We're going to break it into 4 dough balls and rest for 5 to 10 minutes just to relax the gluten. Now we're going to go ahead and roll out our dough balls one at a time. You want to roll it out pretty thin, so 1/4 inch or a little bit thinner. And you're going to roll 2 of these, because we're going to do it just like when we do pepper roti. You have to have 2 sides. So once you open out the first one, you want to set it aside and open out your second, and then put half of the filling on one side and spread it out evenly. Leave a 1/4 inch border on the end so that you can seal it with the other piece of rolled out dough. Now you want to press down really well here. Make sure there's no air in there. Press the ends to seal. And then you're going to place this on a tower that's lightly greased on medium-low heat. We're going to count about 2 minutes on one side and then flip it over and let it continue to cook. You want it to cook really well. Make sure your ends are cooked and it's going to be really crispy on the outside. You hear that? And when you turn it over, you want the other side to be really crispy. And it just goes so well with this soft filling. When it's finished, all you have to do is cut it into squares or quarters, and then it's ready to be enjoyed. I love when this is hot. It's best served hot. I hope you guys try this for prayers or for Diwali this year. Your guests are going to love it. Thank you all so much for joining me, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone.